Hi, I'm John Platt. I'm a partner at the law firm of Snell and Wilmer.
Amazing. And what are you working on, John?
So I do patents and trademarks, and I help my clients get protection on their cool new gadgets and innovations and anything that they've come up with particularly in the field of batteries.
Awesome. What are you currently excited about in the battery industry?
Well, the battery industry is it's everything's connected and it's such a resilient industry. So for example, there's all these headwinds and yet I see companies pivoting. I see companies solving these challenges that are coming up and when the they're having trouble with EVs. They're moving and pivoting over to AI and data centers and to military batteries, and so they're just very resilient. And so I'm excited just seeing how they are solving the current problems that are before them, whether the issues are technological or supply chain oriented. Uh, it, One area that's really hot and exciting right now is recycling, solving some critical supply problems in the North American supply chain, and there are companies that are doing some amazing things in that area.
Yeah, with all this change going on and surprise announcements, it seems like coming out daily now. What are some of the current challenges that you're helping companies with?
So, helping clients with, for example, energy storage for data centers. This is a super hot topic. There's problems really associated with how do you get enough power to, just in general to these data centers. But the data centers need to change the rate at which they're drawing the power so quickly that they have to have batteries associated with them. And they're not the same batteries that you're going to have in an electric vehicle or the same batteries that you're going to have outside of a hospital. And so, unique challenges that are, very different than what's been going on the last 10 years. And so, it's just very exciting.
Yeah, what's one innovation or trend in the industry that you think people should be paying more attention to?
Hmm. Well, in the battery industry, I think paying attention to where the power is going to come from. We can have every car electrified, but where are you going to get the power to put in to charge those? Where and you're going to need infrastructure, and so I think thinking of this, everybody is in their niche and in their lane. Maybe that somebody's recycling, somebody else is figuring out how to make a better battery pack, but you got to kind of think about the whole system holistically and figure out how are we going to do each stage of this. We may have a great battery, but how are we going to get the battery management system to protect it? Where are we going to get the charging infrastructure to charge it? Where's the power going to come from? And so just understanding that whole how we all tie together, which is why I think NatBat's so awesome, because you come to the NatBat meetings and you get this entire spectrum. I When I started out, I had several clients that were in the battery industry, each solving their own little niche area, and I wound up expanding my vision of what everybody's trying to do and how those interact and tie together. And when we meet up at NatBat, people start collaborating and working together across these different industries. So it's just really a great organization from that standpoint, both educational and in terms of networking and working together.
Yeah, and what's your role at NatBat?
So I've been secretary to the board of NatBat since I joined my firm. Snell and Wilmer joined NatBat about 10 years ago. They had the foresight to see that this was an important area, and so we're one of the only law firm that can say we've been part of NatBat for 10 years. And we not only are we involved helping out with clients that are at NatBat that are doing intellectual property that want to protect their patents, but we help clients with all the different areas. Whether it's business formation, incorporating your LLC, or whether it's mergers and acquisitions, supply chain contracting, offtake agreements, uh, or just some of the other things. Real estate issues. You need a lease for your property where you're going to build that gigafactory, and so we've helped with H-1B visas and all things across the spectrum, but focused on the battery industry.
And how has being involved in NatBat made a difference for you professionally?
Well, it's made all the difference. A lot of my friends and clients and associates are because of my association at NatPat. NatPat's first and foremost a great networking organization, and they do it better than just anyone I know. Everybody there is really interested in connecting people to other people, helping people do their business better, and so that's how I've been a beneficiary of that, and I try to pay it forward and help other people with connections, and it's just been wonderful.
And what would you say to a company who's considering joining NatBat?
I'd say they're really smart if they're considering joining NatBat. I would tell them that not just to sign up and then maybe listen passively to some of the uh, webinars. I'd say get involved, join a committee. The committee levels where things really happen, and it's where you're going to get to know people. And don't just join passively, right? Sign up. You'll get it's very easy to get the prompts for your calendar, and then when you join, contribute, chime in. As a committee member, you can present, and we on the committees, all the committees want content and people to talk about what they're doing, what problems they're trying to solve. And so get involved and present and talk about things, and help if there's a project coming up. Um, for me, being involved has made all the difference. The other thing is attending the. There are several different things I would attend if I were joining up with NatBat. I would go to a member site visit. Those are much more small, intimate. You get to meet people a little easier than in a 500 person setting. And so those are, and you get to see what, the behind the scene tour of what somebody in NatBat's doing. So those are great. I would go to the annual meeting. The annual meeting is really a great place to see the entire spectrum and what everybody's doing, and to participate on several of the different committees, see what's going on, get the market reports. All of this is great. So I would definitely do those things if I were just joining NatBat, and then ask. Don't just kind of wander around. Reach out to any of the board members and say, "Hey, I'm new here. Can you introduce me to so and so? Or I'm interested in this area. Who should I talk to?" The NatBat people are going to be very interested in helping you connect with the people, new people, and make that a good experience.
That's great advice. Yes, I love that, especially with the annual meeting coming up. I think that's great to share with people.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm actually co-chair of the Battery Cybersecurity Committee. So this is one of our new committees, but it's really important. The battery management systems are the software that help keep the batteries running safe. And battery cybersecurity is more than just having a good firewall to protect from a bad actor getting into the software. It's about the entire supply chain. And so our committee is trying to educate people as to some of the threat vectors, and make sure that not only the person that's building the pack, but the people that are buying the pack, everybody have standards, and recognize the nature of the concerns, because it could be a real problem if a bad actor got access to, or messed with the operation of the battery, particularly big ones, right? So it's a great committee. If people are interested, I'd really recommend them getting involved. It really kind of crosses the supply chain, and goes all the way up into the users of the batteries. And so we've got an interesting cross section of people on this committee.
Amazing. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. That's great. And I want to pivot a little bit back to you and your career. So, what got you into doing patent laws around batteries?
So I was an engineer. I designed clean rooms for a while as a mechanical engineer, and then I went to law school. And I went to law school thinking that I would be a patent attorney, because I wanted to merge the geek side of me with the legal. And so I went to law school. I went back and got an electrical engineering degree, and since 2000, I've been practicing patent law. And I could see where the industry was going, or really the world was going, in terms of electrification of cars, solar, wind, all of the renewable generation that needed batteries. And so I selected energy storage as my focus area in my patent practice, and immediately found NatBat, and that so that's how I got where I am today. The firm I'm at's been very supportive. Snell and Wilmer is a very forward-thinking law firm, and they when I was telling them what I was thinking we should do, they said absolutely. And so a number of us at Snell and Wilmer have participated in NatBat, and it's so from a professional standpoint, NatBat's been a big part of the last more than a decade of my life. From a personal standpoint, I like doing things that are, when I'm not at work, I like golfing. I like hiking and camping. I was a scoutmaster for 15 years, and so I enjoy getting out in the woods and teaching young men how to survive in nature and build a fire and things like shoot an arrow and things like that. I really enjoy spending time with the family. I've got an amazing wife, 5 children, two son-in-laws, one daughter-in-law, and 2 grandchildren, and so I just love spending time with them. And any time that I have spare, that's what I'm doing. My wife actually comes to the NatBat annual meeting, so you'll see her there if you're there. So the one other thing I do with my spare time is I have a daughter who's a type 1 diabetic. And so I've joined the board of Breakthrough T1D, which is a fundraising 501c3 that's trying to raise funds for curing type 1 diabetes. And so that occupies a good chunk of my time and is a very rewarding aspect. And there's just amazing developments happening in the solving diabetes area, both from curing the disease, making things better for people that are living with the disease now, and predict, tests to figure out if you have any precursor sort of indicators that you might get diabetes, and then trying to slow the onset of diabetes. So just amazing things going on there. From a patent attorney perspective, it's extremely interesting, but from a personal perspective, it's very rewarding.
Wow, I didn't know that about you. Thanks for sharing that. That's incredible. That must, yeah, keep you very busy. That's really nice. As you've gone through your career from engineering into law, what are some of your guiding values?
My So kind of one word answers, my guiding values are God, family, friendship, service, and trust. Making sure that I can do the things I've committed to do, and taking very good care of those responsibilities that I have. If I can stay true to those principles, I think everything else will sort itself out.
I couldn't have said it better myself. That's great. And what are you most proud of professionally?
Um, Professionally, I'm most proud of being part of Snell and Wilmer. It's a firm of really, really talented partners who I can trust with my favorite clients. That I can say, hey, yes, I have just right down the hall from me people who can take care of you if you have an immigration issue that's been causing problems and nobody else can fix it. I know somebody who can. We have 500 attorneys. They're extremely good. They've treated me very well. I consider them my friends, and being part of this firm is one of the things I'm most proud of. I'm also very proud to have been part of NatBat for the last 10 years. That's a point of pride for me. And being a secretary to the board and being able to see how the board is run, the really thoughtful and smart, uh, brilliant people that are involved in NatBat, and being able to rub shoulders with them, that's been a blessing to me, and something that I'm proud of. Uh, Having the foresight to join NatBat, I guess, would be the part that I'm proud of. That and jumping in with both feet and really getting involved in everything. That's been really helpful to me, and it's been for me uh, something that's made all the difference.
Yeah, and what are you most proud of personally? Do you want to share that?
I'm most proud of my family. They're amazing. They do incredible things. My wife homeschooled our children. That is a feat. I think not many people can do that. I have kids that are doing just amazing things in their professional careers, and they are just wonderful people and wonderful servants. They give service. They are kind, and so I, in my personal life, it's my family, extended family, my brothers and parents and in-laws, and just I have been blessed to really be associated with a wonderful family.
That's amazing. I love that. Is there anything else that you'd want to share through this?
Hmm. So, in addition to being part of the Battery Cybersecurity Committee, I'm also involved in the Military Power Source Consortium and NatBat's Military Battery Committee, and I think that is another very hot area in the energy storage industry. Batteries for drones and all other sort of applications that the military is interested in. It's a fascinating area and very different. So people that have applications that might touch on military batteries, the NatBat and the Military Power Source Consortium are the place to go to figure out how you can work with the Department of Defense, Department of War, and how you can procure contracts, how you can meet their standards, and all of those sorts of things. The people that are there have been involved in that and are great sources of contacts and wisdom. And it's another very hot area at the moment, sort of like AI and data centers. So people should keep their eye on that.
Absolutely. I wish I could join all the committees. There's so much interesting stuff going on.
I know I sit in on about four different committees, and there's 12 now, I think, or maybe more, and it's just there's not enough time to attend all of them. But if as many as you can, none of them are uninteresting. I think AI is really going to change things. It's changing things in the legal industry in big ways, and everywhere else. And I think maybe it's almost trite to say this, but I think it's going to make big changes both from a use of batteries in connection with AI, but also the AI's use in battery management systems and in designing packs and all. There's going to be, I think, sea changes coming ahead, big leaps and bounds of improvements, new patents. I'm very excited about where innovation is going to go because of AI. And so I think that's a space to watch and keep our eye on. And some people are, worried about change. As a patent attorney, change is the thing that drives my job. So I love change. Bring it on. It's going to be huge, right? It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a great time, and I think in the next decade.
Yeah. Oh, that's really interesting to hear, especially from you, because you're probably the one who sees a lot of this stuff first, right? Before the rest of the world gets to see it. So that's
Yeah,
exciting to hear.
it's the best thing about my job. I'm the first person that gets to hear about the new thing before, outside of the company. I'm the first person they get to tell. And so I see this stuff coming years before anybody else. And that's the best part about my job.
That is so cool, John. Yeah, well, this was fantastic. You nailed it. So thank you so much for taking the time to come and do this.